What's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking on this episode of Where They Went Wrong, where we talk about mistakes made by directors and movie studios. Today, I'm going to talk about Batman v Superman. Let me just first say, I actually enjoyed this film quite a bit, but there's still a few things that really get under my skin. So, this is Where They Went Wrong, Batman v Superman. Make sure to watch the whole video and let me know if I missed anything. Put it in the comments so I know. Thanks, guys. Batman v Superman was Ben Affleck's first appearance as Batman. The story of Batman and Superman fighting each other is already an extremely complicated film.
Category boy, no, triangles. Yes, Euclid's triangle inequality, the shortest distance between any 2 points.
But the fact that they also had to introduce Batman's character entirely put it way over the top. It turned into a crammed mess. Ben Affleck as Batman and Jeremy Irons as Alfred were completely new to the DCEU, and we didn't know what their characters would be like or what unique spins the actors would put into them. They should have made a solo Batman movie before this film was made to establish Batman's origin story, develop the characters normally, and give us a sense of who Batman was before Batman v Superman. Christopher Nolan alone spent his first 2 Batman films just establishing what his hero was like, what rules he lived by, and what his limits were. Instead, in Batman and Superman, we have to somehow watch Batman's origin story, learn what he does, learn what drives him, find out what he looks like, see who Alfred is, and somehow do it, and also pay attention to the real storyline of what's going on. What DC tried to pull off was insane. This would be like watching Captain America Civil War, but also having to introduce Captain America himself, tell his origin story, develop his character, and then pit him against Iron Man and the other Avengers, to then proceed with the real story. Way too much for one film. My opinion is that Zack Snyder would have preferred for a Batman solo film first, but DC was pushing for Justice League to be made ASAP and ordered him to make Batman v Superman so that they could have Justice League ready by 2017. Senator Finch. With such a complicated movie, it was important for Warner Brothers to cut out any plots or characters in the story that were unnecessary. Putting June Finch in the film was simply too much. Before the movie came out, the trailers made it look like Lex Luthor would be a mastermind devoting his time to creating dislike between Batman and Superman.
It is a pleasure. Ow! Wow, that is a good grip. You should not pick a fight with this person.
Instead, it seemed like he was more worried about Senator Finch's opinion of Superman.
The governor. Excuse me.
Next time.
Governor.
Lex Luthor should have spent his time convincing Batman about the dangers of Superman. Lex spent so much time talking to Finch and trying to persuade her, they missed out on a cool opportunity for a Bruce Wayne, Lex Luthor dialogue. In the actual film, Batman ended up convincing himself that Superman was bad, no thanks to Luthor. I mean, his building was destroyed and car doors ripped off. Luthor deserves credit for technically making Batman and Superman fight, but they only did so because he told Superman he'd kill his mother otherwise. Aside from that, Luthor really didn't contribute to either hero disliking each other, like the movie trailers put out he would be doing. He spent his time with Finch instead. Cut her out. Doomsday. I actually think Doomsday was a good choice of final villain. Lex Luthor can't pose any physical threat, and they needed Superman to be killed in order for the Justice League movie to go according to plan. Doomsday was just the thing for the role. The problem is that he was non-existent until literally the very end, and when he finally appeared, he was brainless and dull.
Oh, shit.
It would have been better for us to see Lex Luthor trying to create Doomsday like a mad scientist throughout the entire movie, us knowing that he's coming. With the audience knowing that Lex was creating something nightmarish the whole film, it would have built the suspense for his arrival. Instead, they randomly threw him at us with no warning. We would have seen Batman and Superman's ongoing conflict as a mere distraction to what Lex is really doing, and would have hoped to see them stop fighting each other so that they could focus on what Lex is creating behind the scenes. Instead, We got left with Batman and Superman arguing for 2 hours.
You don't understand. I understand.
And then suddenly Doomsday is born out of nothing and comes to kill the world.
You're Doomsday.
Batman and Superman's fight. I'm not saying this fight was a complete disappointment. There are tons of people who think it was awesome. The problem for me is that Warner Brothers advertised that the fight between these two would be a huge deal, like there was going to be a massive death match between them.
The greatest gladiator match in the history of the world. God versus man. Son of Krypton versus Bat of Gotham.
They had Snapchat filters, Facebook videos, and even a video game called Who Will Win. They created polls and videos asking fans to pick sides of who they think would win between them.
Who will win? Batman. I say Batman.
Superman. The only answer is Superman.
Everyone was excited to see the Batman and Superman battle. What we got was short and forgettable. The scene where Batman beats up dudes in the warehouse was more epic than this. The whole fight lasted only 6 minutes. Here's how it goes. Superman throws Batman on the roof, Batman sprays kryptonite, a few punches, more kryptonite, and boom, it's over. I mean, some parts were pretty cool, but when you think of what they could have really done, it's disappointing. Plus, what's with all the weird bat groaning? They could have made it longer and more epic. Most directors don't have the chance to visually create an iconic fight like this. They could have featured the Batpod or have Batman using stealth against a weakened Superman. They should have gotten more creative. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you could hit that like button, that would help me out so much. Also, watch for more episodes of Where They Went Wrong for all your favorite types of movies. Peace out, guys.